All I have in this world is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. Do you understand?
Rightio legends, Chaos Chronicles, and we are back again with another video. And then, so today I thought we would talk about false allegations and how serious false allegations can be, and how making false allegations can just as well make you like worse off than the person you're making the allegations about. So yeah, we'll get into that. But before we get into it, all right, if you guys haven't already subscribed, somewhere down there is the subscription button. If you hit that one and hit that bell button as well, you'll never miss any of my clips again. And yeah, whatever device you're watching me on, you will get a notification saying that yeah, I've just dropped a video. So all right, false allegations. So what am I talking about? All right, so it's reputation and stuff like that in prison like goes a long way, and so the easiest way to like get someone out of the scene is to damage their reputation, and the easiest way to do that is with bullshit false allegations, right? And so this is a very, very common occurrence in prison. And so like, yeah, false allegations are something that are very, very rife. And so like, I've seen people almost lose their life over false allegations, and then I've also seen somebody nearly lose their life for making false allegations. So like, yeah, it's as simple as that. And like these things can be absolutely dangerous. So like I could use a couple of examples. So as you guys know, I've made mention about this on other videos about the wars between the POWs, the prison gang at Bowen, and like other races and stuff like that. And so like at one stage there was a bit of a thing like back in like the early 2000s where the Lebos and the POWs were having a bit of a war, kind of like the Islanders and the POWs are kind of still at war at the moment. So it was kind of like that. And so if any Lebos ever rocked up to Bowen, then it was basically Donkey Kong on. And if any POWs rocked up to Port Phillip, well, it was pretty much Donkey Kong on there too. And so on this particular day, this person, I'm not going to say his last name. Let's just say his name was Barry. It's irrelevant anyway. So this guy who had rocked up that day had just come from Barwon, and he got put into Scarborough South. Now, Scarborough South, I've made mention of this in many videos before, is one of the worst units in the Victorian prison system, and anyone that's done prison there will tell you that the Scarborough units are some of the worst units that there are. And yeah, so yeah, anyway, so on this day this person had come from Barwon, and I've also made mention on other videos about how the induction billets know beforehand exactly who is coming. And so at the time when this person came, so this person had a very similar name to a person that was a POW. So this person that got to Port Phillip on this day, his name was not the same as the person, but very similar. And so anyway, when he rocked up to Scarborough South, they knew that this person was coming. They thought he was a POW, and he got stabbed like 38 times by like, yeah, 4 or 5 different dudes. And that was just by like I said, false allegations. They were alleging that this guy was a POW and he had nothing to do with the POWs. And yeah, got sliced up a beauty, and nearly lost his life. And like, yeah, like 38 times is absolutely brutal. And yeah, that guy nearly lost his life over it. And so it's a double-edged sword as well. So like, it can definitely go both ways. So like, I know, like, say for instance, if I was in prison, and whether or not I had a long time, short time, or whatever, and there was some muppet running around the yard spreading bullshit rumors about me, trying to defame my character or whatever, I am 100% gonna nip that in the butt at the soonest like possible chance that I get. And so, I've had this happen before. I have actually had this happen before where people have tried to defame my character, and yeah, so I had somebody say that they thought that I had robbed them on the outside, and this is a big thing that can get you in trouble as well. So robbing Persian rug dealers, and then ending up in prison where that criminal world is very, very small, can definitely end up bad for you. And in this case, like, I definitely didn't do it, and yeah, it was a case of mistaken identity, and just to make sure that there wasn't going to be anything kicking off about it. The person who started that rumor, I just went and took him out. And so you guys can use your imagination. I've spoke about shank sandwiches, this and that. And so, like, if someone is going around trying to get people to take you out, you're just going to do the exact same thing back. And that's exactly what I did, and I just nipped it in the butt straight away. And then, yeah, went and seen the people and said, like, it just doesn't even make sense. Like, I am not even from that area where you're saying I don't know anyone from that area. It makes no sense for me to even do this. And yeah, it's just not something that I do anyway. So, like, but the most common one is like people saying that people are snitches. So, like, it is very, very, very common for someone to say, I know that guy from my area and he's a snitch, or I heard that guy snitched on that guy. And the old I heards are very big in prison. And, like, so I've also made mention of this as well. Like, you literally cannot go making accusations that someone is a snitch unless you have the paperwork to back your word up. You know what I mean? And if you don't have the paperwork, it's not worth even saying, because, like, if you come to me and you say, like, if I was in prison and you say, hey mate, I am, like, almost 100% certain that your mate is a snitch, like, you even just saying that is going to make me just tee off on you straight away. Like, absolutely just tee off on you for, like, disrespecting my mate like that. And him being my mate, like, he wouldn't be my mate if he had any grey clouds over his head. And so, like, that is the most common one. And you always see, like, say for instance, people that come from the same area but run in different crews in that area. Like, say for instance, they might run drugs for this crew and these people run drugs for this crew. You always see the back and forth of you know, he's a snitch or he's a snitch. And, 100% I've seen the paperwork. You always see people say that. I've seen the paperwork. I've seen the paperwork. And so here's the truth, So, like, if someone says to you, like, you're a snitch, like, you have 2 weeks to produce paperwork. Do you know what I mean? And then if you don't produce that paperwork, then every single person is just going to assume that you are a snitch. Now, it is so easy to get your paperwork. Every single person who is in prison either has a lawyer or represents themselves, and either way, you get your paperwork, and so it's very, very easy to get your hands on your paperwork. And so generally, and like, I've done this to people, like, I've someone's coming to the unit and someone said, look, that person's a snitch. And it's someone that I trusted that said that person was a snitch. And then so you've paperwork checked them, where's your paperwork, bro? Where's your brief? And then so you make them hand over their brief, and then you go through their brief and see whether they're a snitch or not. Because if they're a snitch, they're going to be snitching in every single offense. Do you know what I mean? So, like, if someone's going to snitch once, they're going to snitch again. I'm pretty sure it's a pretty contagious friggin' disease. So, um, and that's the worst one. And these false allegations, like, people definitely have lost their life for these false allegations on the outside. And I'm pretty sure people have lost their lives for false allegations on the inside as well. But yeah, like I said, it is a double-edged sword, and 100 million percent, if you accuse someone, especially of being a snitch. And another one that you hear of as well is that this person is a sour grapist or this person is a PDF file. They're from my area, and that's one that like no one's gonna take any chances with. So if like someone comes up to me and says, "Look, bro, that dude's from my area. It is a well-known fact that that dude is a PDF file or a sour grapist." Um, I'm 100% going to go straight up to that person and not even care about the outcome. And I'm going to say, "Righto, bro, give me a brief right now. If you don't have your brief, go and call your lawyer right now and tell them that you want your brief. You've got 2 weeks to have your brief. If you don't have your brief here by 2 weeks, you're 100% getting out of my unit, mate. And I don't give a shit. There's no 100% like I did never deviate from the rules. You know what I mean? Like if it was like the accusation was that you were a snitch or like especially a sex offender or a PDF file or any type of sex offender, like I am 100% marching straight up to you and letting you know that I am onto you, mate, and you have 2 weeks to kick over your brief. And if you don't have your brief by the end of 2 weeks, you'll be leaving with re- your toes facing the roof. So and that's just what you got to do. And so yeah, this is why false accusations are absolutely killer and can be so dangerous. And so I just say that if you are looking at going to prison, or you are someone that's going to be going to prison and you haven't been before, like seriously, unless you can prove that somebody is a snitch or something like that, unless you can prove it with paperwork, you need receipts to call someone a snitch. You know what I mean? And it is very, very common. You see people, they're trying to fit in. They want people to like know that there is somebody on the outside. So they'll try and declare someone a snitch. And like, yeah, these things can turn around and bite you back like twice as hard. Like I said, if somebody came up to me to paperwork check me, like I ain't producing paperwork. Like my reputation precedes itself. So if someone comes up to me and's paperwork checking me, bro, it's shank sandwich time all day long. And like, that's the worst thing about prison. Like I look back now, and I was only talking to my family about it the other day, and like it's just so crazy how dangerous and how simply dangerous prison can be, over the dumbest, most simplest things. I've made mention before. I've seen people get stabbed multiple times over a packet of meagering noodles. You know what I mean? I've seen people get stabbed over not paying back coffee. This is a place where you absolutely don't want to be. And for this exact reason is why you don't want to be there. And yeah, well, there you go, guys. That is false allegations, and the impacts, like the outcomes of false allegations on both sides of the spectrum. And so yeah, false allegations can absolutely get you hurt if you're throwing the wrong allegations at the wrong person. Yeah, you want to hope you got paperwork, otherwise you're going to be fighting for your life. That's for sure. But all right, guys, I will leave it there. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. But also, guys, I so my interview was supposed to drop today, and it will be dropping on Wednesday or Thursday. So I did try and drop it today. So I have another YouTube channel what I test all my videos on before I post them on my channel to see if they breach any of the YouTube guidelines. So it turns out that this one was a little bit gruesome. So I've just got to edit it back a little bit. So don't stress. We've still got the interview. We're still going ahead with it. I've just got to edit it back a little bit, and that's where we're at with it. So yeah, I'm hoping Wednesday or Thursday I'll be able to put that out. But don't worry, it's still 100% going ahead. Yeah, and also, yeah, so we've got, like I said, watch this space. Yeah, minor hiccup, but like it's kind of out of my hands. And like, yeah, if I had have done it, I probably would have got a warning. I've had a warning on my page. So my next offense is a strike, and I don't want that. As you guys know, you get strikes on your page, that's it. It's game over for your page, and I don't want that. So yeah, we've just got to edit the little tiny gory bits out. I know exactly what I've got to do. I know exactly where we went wrong. But yeah, that definitely will still be out this week. So yeah, don't stress about that, guys. It's 100% still coming out. And yeah, if you guys haven't already subscribed, like right now is the time where you want to be subscribing to the Chaos Chronicles. We've got so much good stuff coming up. I don't give away secrets anymore because like people are stealing my ideas and like hey, half their luck. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is, And but yeah, I'm not giving away ideas anymore because I don't want people stealing my ideas anymore. But yeah, all right, guys. I have been the Chaos Chronicles. Don't do drugs and crime, and you won't end up in prison.